Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a very unsnowy Moscow. However, we're going to go check out some Christmas decorations, and we're going to start right here behind me. I want to start this video right by Mayakovskaya metro station, and it's actually a good starting point for my walking tour today. And I'm going to take you along to some different locations, and we're going to have a look at some of the trees, and we've got two particular spots that I want to take you to, which will be a little bit later in the video. However, just standing here in itself is really quite beautiful. There is actually the Garden Ring, or one of the main ring roads around Moscow, that goes right under the square right here. You've got these beautiful buildings in the foreground and off in the distance. Now, I was hoping for some snow, but it seems to be eluding me as I'm trying to make these videos. This is actually a really nice spot to come to, no matter winter or summer. This is the Moscowэтаж Theater. You see some of the different people that are performing, and this is probably considered the most beautiful location of a metro station in Moscow as well, and it's such a good spot to start the video. They've got all these different light structures set up, so I hope people aren't getting too dizzy already. But there is some trees here as well, which is always nice. If this place might look familiar, obviously the metro station is very well known. There is actually these swings here that people like to use at the same time. And what we're going to do, we're going to walk down the main road. It's called Spasskaya Street, which is right in front of us here, and we're going to head towards Red Square, but we're actually going to avoid it again because I've got some other places that I think are just as interesting. I think this is probably as good a spot as ever to see somebody coming to do something so simple yet so beautiful. I hope this will be an interesting video, and it's just turning into early evening right now, so it's getting a little bit darker. The lights are starting to take over the city, and of course it will be a little bit loud because I'm walking by one of the main roads that lead in and out of the center of Moscow, so I apologize for that, but enjoy the view all the same. Somebody did mention in the previous videos about who's responsible for all of the decorations. Now, where you see these light towers on the light poles, this would be done by the administration. And then where you see decorations, for instance right here in the Apple store, these are done by each individual business. And the idea is there's a timeline where the local government want everybody to have their decorations up at the same time. That way people can then come into the city and enjoy the view walking down some of these very historical streets. So we just want to walk a bit further down and get to my first point of interest. I'll just step off to the side for a minute or two here and point out this building and all of the lights, along with a few decorations as well, and the cobblestones. This is the Museum of Contemporary History. There is quite a lot of museums in Moscow which have very beautiful buildings, and the gardens are really more prepared for winter. They've got them covered over, waiting for the snow to fall, but they've got these Christmas ornaments right in the driveway here. But how nice is this building? Normally when you're going out for something to eat, you have a look for the big light tower of the golden arches of McDonald's, and you can just see on the lower ground floor of this residential building the logo of Kuzny i Tochka, which is the replacement for McDonald's in Russia. And this was the first one that opened more than 30 years ago, the one where people lined up for hours and hours on end to get themselves a Big Mac or a cheeseburger. And then we're right here in Pushkin Square. Now, not as many people come here because there's lots of other places that are perhaps more beautiful and more picturesque. But they build these very large light towers or structures that are almost too bright for the camera. And they're not small towers that they build also, they're huge. And they've got them either side of the main road right here. And Pushkin Square is rather famous, of course, for Alexander Pushkin. There's the monument on the other side of the road, and this is kind of the spot that a lot of people don't come to necessarily to see the decorations and the light structures. However, I think it's really beautiful. It is actually rather bright, even not looking at it through the lens here, but it's really cool. I hope everybody likes it just as much. I am noticing quite a lot of people doing this same walking tour that I'm taking. What we generally do is come into the center of the city and then walk from one starting point or a metro station to another, and that way we can arrive here and leave and not have to walk too far once we get to the end of our route. The event marking the holiday of December and January is called Moscow Seasons, and they really like to theme everything and talk about all of the different events that they've got planned. One of the things that they highlight is these light tunnels, and there's quite a few of them around Moscow that you can go to, and I wonder who's paying the electricity bill for all of these fairy lights. However, it's really nice to come for a walk through. Yeah, what I do plan to do is in about 2 or 3 weeks, or at some point when there's some snow, is come back through here and show it to you a second time just to compare. Now, once I get to the other end and come outside, I want to show you this building here off on the left-hand side. They always have lots of displays along this boulevard, lots of photographs or paintings, and the local administration do a lot of things to encourage people to get out and about, going for walks and doing exercise and enjoying the city where you live. And I think these are great initiatives, and to, you know, love the place where you live at the same time, and, you know, enjoy the fact that you live in such a historical place. All of these little small trees that they put in place as well, the planter boxes, just beautiful. And I think I've chosen a better day to come today, because today is a Monday afternoon, so everybody's at work, and this is a lot easier to walk through and enjoy, not having to rub shoulders so much with all the people wanting photographs. Walking a little bit further down, you actually are able to practically walk around Moscow in a circle, and this is called Tsvetnoy Boulevard, or I think sometimes we call it the Boulevard Ring, and they've got different installations set up and I think they're not quite finished with some of them, but they've got a lot of things decorated and built especially for the holidays coming up. Now, a lot of the decorations are designed around January and not specifically about the end of December. They do have these different little booths set up, and I just realized that they're meant to be cable cars. It's also a box to send letters to Ded Moroz, and the lighting as well on these towers, just beautiful. Really and truly, it's something actually quite interesting to come to walk here. And again, you'll see on the sides the different businesses that have put up their own decorations. There's actually a gentleman here preparing some of the trees, and quite literally hand planting them and preparing the different parts of Tsvetnoy Boulevard. Now, it's actually a very long walk that you can do. I'm not sure exactly how many kilometers, but you can walk the entire loop of Moscow and find your own tree to take a photo by. We don't always want to take the same picture as everybody else. This is I think it's the Gorky Museum or Gorky Theater right here. Some very beautiful buildings, and as you keep walking along, they've got these little nooks set up with some tables and chairs. You can get yourself a snack or a hot drink at the same time. I think they've even got hot dogs there as well. Now, I think most people don't know about this part of Moscow to come for a walk, but it's just as beautiful. Even if you're coming for a walk to see all the buildings, there is so much history that we quite literally just walk past and don't notice it. It's just interesting. I think we are a little bit early in this area because they've got signs on each of the trees. So I think the people that are doing all the decorating know which one needs doing, which one doesn't. Because these are all real trees that have been brought here. And some of them need a little bit of extra trimming just to get them to look just as beautiful. But how's this for a spot? I don't really think I need to get too much closer because it's just so bright. This is Cafe Pushkin, probably one of Moscow's most famous restaurants in the center of the city. Now, just excuse all the cars in the way. However, the amount of lights on it, and I guess it's meant to create the effect of snow on the building. I really hope there's some solar panels on the roof paying off their electricity bill, because their dial must be absolutely spinning right now. Let's keep on walking down Tverskaya Street and take in some of the decorations. And I just noticed this. I'm pretty sure this is a recent addition. They put the word Moscow into the stonework of these planter boxes. And then all of these real trees and decorations. And you'd need an entire warehouse to store all these things, to then bring them out here and then set them up and do the wiring and electrical work for them. And we all think everything is so simple, but it's really not. This road is always busy with traffic. It's very hard to walk down this road and it not have cars going by. Essentially, at the end of the road is the Kremlin. We can just see in the very, very distance the corner spire of the Kremlin right there. These buildings on the other side of the road. Now, I would absolutely love to live in the center of the city. I just don't know how often I could have my window open with the cars going by continuously. But such nice decorations, even just on the side of the road here. When I set out to make this video today, I had two places in mind that I wanted to come and visit, and one of them's coming up in just a minute or so's time on the left-hand side. And I have noticed quite a lot of people doing the same walk that I'm doing. Basically from Moscowэтаж metro station, you can get down to the Kremlin in around about 20 minutes if you don't stop. But lots of people wanting to pause for photographs and to take in just the decorations. Now across the road is the administration of Moscow's main building, and this is where the mayor has his office. It's an incredibly big building, and on camera it doesn't look that big, but if I cross the street it's something else. We see slowly now a few more people around. And lots of people just admiring the scenery. Now this is where I wanted to bring you to. And this is Spasskaya Square. Of course on Tverskaya Street. What you'll notice is there's a mixture of people. So there is people like myself just going for a walk around and enjoying the city, and then you'll notice people walking much faster who are going to or from work. Which it looks like a lot of this has just been completed because they've got some wet paint signs and do not cross signs. But check this place out. So this is the one spot I wanted to bring you. And then we'll walk on down to the next location afterwards. This is really quite a location to come to. This is actually here all year round, but what they do, they change it seasonally to suit the area. Check this hand-painted Christmas bauble out right here. This is actually one of the main parts of the, I guess, holiday in Moscow, winter in Moscow. I can't think what they keep wanting to call it, but just endless decorations and endless people like myself wanting to take photos and videos and get some nice pictures the same way. What we'd all give to live in an apartment across the street and have this view every day. That would be something else. Now this place also is really interesting because they've got some masterclasses set up. They've actually set up a temporary post office here as well, so you can send cards to friends and family, and then you can walk around here. Now again, because we're here on Monday afternoon, we're almost cheating a little bit by coming here when everybody's at work, and it's much quieter and less people, because normally you get quite overwhelmed with the amount of people that are coming to these events. I mean, we've got to remember we're in a city with 15 million people. So if they just do some kind of small event, you're going to get a lot of people turn up. Lots of decorations for the trees. Also the horses, for the year of the horse coming up as well. Super nice. So if anybody happens to live in the apartment buildings on the other side of the streets, let me know, and I can pop over for a cup of tea at your place, and I can stare out the window endlessly. Now the only thing that's a little bit out of place is Star's Coffee right here, and really it's just a little bit strange to see it when you realize that it was previously Starbucks. But they do have all of the Christmas drinks. Toffee nut latte, Christmas spicy grog, gingerbread latte. So they are getting into the spirit of it. They've got a big samovar here, or tea urn as well. I hope this video isn't too long, and I endlessly apologize, but I don't think by now people aren't so bothered. Now come 2 weeks from now, when this is absolutely blanketed in snow, it'll be a whole different place to walk through. There is the merry-go-round there. Now naturally all the kids are probably at home already from school. They've not ventured into the city to take all of this in like everyone else is doing. Come Saturday and Sunday, it's much different. The other thing too, coming on a day like today, it's not slippery with ice and snow, so you can walk around quite easily. So they do have events set up here as well that you can partake in. There's the regular cafe. I think they do change things seasonally though from the normal menu. Everything is decorated, even on the side panels here. All of the pieces of the trees as well. Now this middle centerpiece here is normally a water fountain, and currently it's a very beautiful, I think it's meant to be representative of the buildings in Moscow, or the Seven Sisters. I think that's what it looks like. If anybody knows otherwise. But how nice is this? So they've actually got all the decorations up on the roof there as well. Some birds resting. And again, they've got these swings like we saw at Moscowetach station. So you come and take a little bit of a rest. So I'm fairly sure that these are meant to be the buildings in the center of Moscow. If anybody knows differently, or you recognize the landmarks that makes up the building, big trees, small trees. Everybody rugged up as well. It's probably about -2 or 3 degrees Celsius. So they do performances here as well. Normally it's on the weekends. not generally midweek. It's pretty cool. And if you're wondering, there is one gentleman amongst all the ladies. All the men are at work, or they don't want to come for a walk in the center, I think, because they know they're going to have to walk endlessly around all the decorations. These trees are beautiful. I mean, just the work that goes into them. I'll say it over and over because it's really a lot of work to set these up. I mean, they don't just cover them over for the rest of the year. They change this out completely. If you've seen other videos that I've made, there's a big water feature here and they have music. And for now, we have the winter decorations set up. And I wonder if the mayor of Moscow is looking down at us as we walk around. You can actually see a couple of people in the windows off in the distance. What do you think? Could you spend a few days in the center of Moscow walking around just like this? Perhaps you could take in the Traveling with Russell walking tour. I like to set these up every now and again. Okay, so I've actually figured out a couple of these different buildings. Now this one is meant to replicate the actual administration of Moscow's building right there, which I've pointed out. And this one is meant to be one of the structures at VDNH. The top one, I think, might be some of the buildings that make up where is Red Square, I think. And then the other one over here actually now makes complete sense. This is the Bolshoy Theater. So I really hope you're enjoying this walk around, and I've actually just met 2 subscribers of the channel back to back while I've been standing here. And if you see me out and about, please say hello, or please stop me while I'm walking. It's so nice to meet people who enjoy the channel and the different videos that I make. So thank you for saying hello, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night like we're all doing, walking around taking in all of these decorations. I've walked a little bit further down Tverskaya Street. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to avoid Red Square and the Kremlin area and show you other places, and this was the whole intention of this video. And I've come to this other side lane here, and check this out. They've got these suspended Christmas trees that are probably about 4 or 5 meters in the air, and all of their roots are exposed. And I'm curious what the meaning behind it is. Some kind of an art installation or something different. I'm not sure. It's really interesting though. And then walking further along the laneway here, they've got a display. Now the best way I can describe it is that they're the look of gingerbread houses. And actually, if you look on the planter boxes right here, and also on any of this paneling on the sides, it looks like gingerbread, and the frosting on them at the same time. And then all of the trees and these lights as well. This is a very well-known lane here, not far from the center of Moscow. And they've got gingerbread ornaments on all of the trees. These are very, very real. And just the smell coming off them as well. And have a look at this. Yeah, it's pretty neat. And a little shop right here at the same time. You can buy some gingerbread gifts. That's really cool. This gingerbread house. Wow, this is something different. And not what I was expecting walking down here. Now the lady's serving from the other side, but we can see them up close. So they're gingerbread cookies with different paintings on them and different decorations. And that's the theme of the area right here. How cool are these lights? And then the whole way down this laneway, they've got little cafes and little bars and places where you can have something to eat or drink. And these different setups. You can see the decorations right on the tree. And you can actually walk through the gingerbread house. If you check out the decorations on the restaurant right here. Bro and N. Oh, Novikov is a very well-known restaurateur in Moscow. He actually has lots of places in Moscow, and even at the airport he has the restaurants as well. Trees everywhere. This has to be more than last year. I'm certain there wasn't this many installed. But even without snow, there's something about walking through the center of the city in the evening. I wonder why they've chosen the gingerbread theme for this part of the city. There must be some reference to it, perhaps. Lots of people doing the walk around. I think every building has some kind of decorations on it as you walk down here. In my previous video, I briefly walked down this laneway, and I'm now walking from the other direction, and it has these different decorations with these cogs on them. And you always wonder the inspiration that they take the ideas from. Definitely lots of people doing the same loops around the center. Check the train out up there. That's pretty cool. I wonder if the cogs have some reference to that or not. Now the last place I want to show you is at the end of this laneway. And then we will be almost at the end of the video. The last place I want to show you is right here. This is called Petrovsky Passage. And it's a very beautiful building. It's actually a series of trading rows which has now been converted into a luxury shopping mall, or Passage. And this place is absolutely stunning, even just by some of the shops at the entrance. Tiffany and some of the premium brands. Let me get through the door and we'll keep walking. Perhaps if you've watched my other videos where I've shown GUM, this place has a very similar layout or feeling to it, with this row of buildings and then this covered glass ceiling. Now it's obviously dark, so you can't see these glass panels, but this is the smaller version of GUM, and definitely even more premium and with a lot of luxury or high-end stores. And they have a very nice display in here now. What you're seeing is actually for sale, so things like the ornaments and decorations, and they even have handmade cards in case you want a one-off card. You can have them painted for you. And then they've got some different nativity scenes, and then even some of the different types of the statues. Now, I'm not particularly knowledgeable about the different ones, and most people in the comments tend to help me out with this. And I'm trying to speak a little bit quieter because this is somewhere that definitely deserves that. But these are very neat. Now, if you might have watched my video showing the Christmas trees in GUM, then this has a very similar feeling. Definitely not touristy at all. And I think pretty much no tourists know about this place. Maybe after watching my video they do. Now, technically in here you can film. However, it's frowned upon a little bit. Have a look at that. That is very cool. Really. All the houses, trees. So the decorations here. I think these are the guys that work here. I think so. So there's a series of different shops set up with all of the different things that you can buy. So all of the ornaments, and it's just hard to put into words what you're seeing, because these are all handmade, hand painted, and I would be very cautious wanting to put these on our tree at home, because if it even bounced the wrong way, I would be crying almost. And have a look at some of these with the stones, and it's like glass objects. Just amazing. Just this building in itself as well. So it's actually multiple levels, and there's shops on all of the floors. Just something very unique. I have actually been here before, and in springtime they have a flower festival in here where they set up all the different flowers of the season. And then, of course, now for December and January, they decorate it with all of the trees. It is really a very unique place to come. Now, of course, somebody's going to say to me, there's nobody shopping, there's nobody in here. Now, they don't need a lot of people. Sometimes when you come here, they have a pianist right here by the cafe. And then all of the shops as well. Now, we have to go down the Passage if we're in here. So these are the tables for the cafe, and just such a amazing building, and to come and see all of the displays at the same time. I don't even know some of these brands. That's how out of touch I am with luxury shopping malls, but just amazing. All the light structures and decorations that they put up. It's certainly a very niche place to come to. It's very cool. As I get to the end of the video, I just want to point out that this kind of place here is very niche, and it's going to be a very specific person or shopper who comes here, and I'm very respectful of the people that come into these places, because for me to walk in with my camera isn't exactly polite. And I just noticed a couple that were hiding their face, and it's not my intention to get them on camera, and you know, people want to remain anonymous, and I understand that. And the real point of the video is to show these different Christmas decorations and displays and these unique places, which I think really aren't documented so much on social media. So I just thought I'd give you that just a few minutes talk about that, and because so many people will always be so negative about somewhere like this, that you know, there's nobody shopping, there's no people in the shopping center. This is Monday afternoon. This is a working day in Moscow, and people aren't wandering the shopping malls on a Monday afternoon. They're at work, or after work they go home, and you know, they'll find time to come shopping here when they've got time. I definitely recommend, if you're in Moscow, and of course most people know the area where I am here with the Bolshoy Theater and Red Square, the Kremlin. Put Petrovsky Passage on your list of places to come for a walk. I mean, there is a cafe where you can have some tea or coffee and relax and just take in this ambience of this very old building. Now, depending on the time of year you come, it'll have different decorations and different displays set up, and each time you come you'll almost see things you haven't seen before. Christmas sweaters, even the snow globes are pretty cool. And I wonder, for anybody that's watching who's from Moscow, have you been in here before? Let me know in the comments. As we come to the end of another video and a walk around the center of Moscow. Now, my intention really is to show you different places in the center that are probably not so well shown on YouTube or whatever, different social medias, because it's too easy just to go to Red Square and walk there and show the ice rink and the market there. And I want to show you other things where pretty much people who live in Moscow walk around, and particularly today's walk that I did, starting off at Mayakovskaya metro station, and then I've ended over here by Kuznetsky Mosque, and probably showing you different things that no one else is going to show you, and I hope that comes across sincerely. And I really want to thank everybody who watches the videos, and if you're a long-time watcher or you've been recommended this video as a holiday or Christmas video, thank you so much for watching and getting to the end and enjoying these videos at the same time. I think I'm actually ending the video at the exact same spot as I did the previous one when we did the walk around in Sum, which you can see right behind me there. And the reason I'm doing the ending from here is this is the direction I've got to walk to get in my metro to go home. It's just on the other side of the main road. They've actually done a little bit more work on the decorations here by the Bolshoy, and I will come back once this is fully finished. They're doing lots of extra decorating. So I think different parts of Moscow have different timelines to get things finished. Looks like it's been snowing here, but I think they're using like a spray-on snow, because we've probably still got another week of no snow. Check it out. Suddenly snow in Moscow. Where did it come from? Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thumbs up if you did. Post a comment. And I think the secret word for this video has to be Bolshoy, which really means big in Russian. So if we see the word Bolshoy in the comments, that's the secret word for this video. Now, if you want to follow my social media, Telegram will come up right here. And then if you want to watch an old video on the channel, something different, well, the snow's blowing around now, it's going to come up right here. Thanks everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.